Okay, guys, I was debating on whether I should make this video or not, just because I'm not here to be a negative Nancy, but as an Aquarius sun, Sag moon, I am all about preaching the truth and honesty. And we are living in a time right now where people, one, are vibrating much higher, I feel, hopefully, and people are moving from, let's say Christianity to astrology, or just them finding some new foundation of belief. But what I'm also seeing now is, because there is this heightened awareness, I do believe that people feel like anything can happen no matter what they do, no matter what is out there, that you can manipulate an energy to an extent to where you are bringing in, let's say, all kinds of money, all kinds of advancements, love, whatever the case is. Now, with my knowledge of astrology, numerology thus far, and as someone who was a firm believer in the idea of being able to, quote, manifest anything by writing it down, by having water next to you, by chanting a few things, whatever. I really want to get into the reality, again, based on my knowledge and awareness of astrology and numerology. This idea of manifestation is not what some people are making out to be. And I say some people because there are a lot of people out there who are capitalizing off of people who are in just desperation. They're in this time in their life where they're lacking certain things, let's say money, with love, with career, whatever the case is. And there are people out there who are like, well, if you just buy my course, if you just, purchase these crystals or purchase whatever they have, their product, that whatever you want is going to come to you just like that. And I'm here to say that although it sounds beautiful, and yes, I have been in those situations where I have spoken about something and it didn't happen until a few years later or months or whatever the case is, but we have to learn that things come to you. They come to you because of your natural energy. Let's say that you have this idea that you want a sports car, that you want to live in a certain area, a certain neighborhood. You have those energies, you have that feeling because of your astrological makeup. Everything is tied to your birth chart, the place that you want to live, why you want some certain quality of lifestyle, why you don't care about certain things. All of that is seen through the energy of your birth chart and your astrological makeup. Now, there are times that we go through as a human where it will be a lot harder than other times. Some years are really good and some years are just not so great. But my knowledge of numerology, and unfortunately, what I see now is that everything is all about timing. All about timing. Because when you look at astrology, when you look at your birth chart, when you look at things like transits, you will see that certain things start happening based on your birth chart and things going around your chart. So I'll take, for example, let's say you have Jupiter transiting your eighth house. Now, I'm not going to get into like the depth of it, but one aspect of Jupiter transiting the eighth house is that you can come into an abundance of money, or at least just more than maybe what you're making, maybe a check, out of nowhere, your taxes come in around that time. Just, again, money, resources from somewhere else other than your job. Let's just say it like that. Now, if prior, the year before, you're going through some kind of financial hardship, then once that Jupiter transits into the eighth house, it is not because you manifested it. It is because the time that had to go, like the amount of time that had to happen before that transit finally arrived, that is what triggers that abundance of money. That is what triggers the, oh my gosh, I didn't know this was going to come from there. And so this idea that if we just manifest it by, however, there's so many different ways that people kind of perceive manifestation, but this idea that you can just do it and it will just happen like suddenly, I don't know how else to say it. I don't know how else to say it without being like super negative. When you look into things like astrology, you also, you would probably learn numerology. In numerology, you could learn about things called personal years. Now, personal years are, again, the cycle, a 9-year cycle that we go through where it's just the vibration of that number. So if you're going through, let's say, a 9 personal year, that's a year of a lot of completions, a lot of endings. So I have had clients come to me with a reading, and they're in a 9 personal year where they're like, I don't know what to do with my job, I'm ready to quit, but they don't understand or know that that's the year that they're in. So that is why the knowledge of astrology, numerology is very helpful, so that you can understand why you're going through a particular cycle. Now, do I believe that everyone who is pushing manifestation understands everything like astrology, numerology? I do not believe that. I do, though, believe that some people actually do know, and they are capitalizing off of people who don't know. And this is exactly why this stuff has been hidden from us, because if you know and you understand this, then you wouldn't buy into those things, because you would just have the patience to wait. That is it. Now, I have been in a situation before, and I will never forget this. When I was 18 years old, there were these new apartments being built by my old, my high school. And at the time, I mean, they were like so amazing. They were so cool. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to live there one day. And I actually moved into those apartments unknowingly, because again, I moved in and then the memory kind of kicked in of like, oh, I said I wanted to live here. And that was 7 years later. Actually, I moved in there when I was 25 years old. And so would you call that manifestation, or would you just call that something that happened? Because obviously I was not into astrology then. I mean, I knew like little bits and pieces, but practicing it like I do now, of course, I wasn't doing that at 18 years old. And so would you call that manifestation, or would you just call that just the internal feeling that you have that I want to move in somewhere nice, again, based on my astrological makeup? Um, and so I kind of wanted to put it out there, because I don't think anyone that I'm thinking about now is actually going to watch this, but I was trying to talk to someone about this who does do this for a living, like selling manifestation things, products, whatever. And of course, they don't understand astrology, numerology like I do. They're just a very successful, wealthy person who made a business through these type of things. Um, do I believe that they're being shady about it? No, I don't. I don't believe that. I don't believe that they're being shady about it at all. I just believe that they don't understand that the reason why they're so successful and have all of this money is because of their own birth chart and their own timing of their own life. And so when you have people coming in and being like, I need to buy this, I'm not going to say the product, but I need to buy this thing, and because you said it would help and whatever, that's because that person experienced it. So to those people, they believe that what they did is the reason why they're like that. And then if you do it just like they did, it will happen for you like that as well. No, 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 it doesn't happen like that. But I will say it takes a lot of calculations to actually go back and look through patterns and look through, okay, what was happening at this time because of this time, because this year is kind of like this year, and this transit was happening, and this was aspecting this on my birth chart, whatever. You have to look at all those combinations, but I literally sat here and did that for my own life right now, these past, say, 12 years, because we're in this Jupiter Gemini transit. And so again, going back 12 years, and then what happened in between these months, and look at what was transiting around that time. That's literally what I did. But everything is patterns. It's patterns. We're repeating patterns. Now, as far as what will happen, it won't be exactly the same, obviously, but the theme is there. The theme is there. So like I said, I use that example of Jupiter 8th house transit. If you have a Jupiter transiting the 8th house, you can kind of look at what happened to you during that time, whatever transit whatever your transit you're going through. Sorry, I got a lot of thoughts in my mind right now. But whatever transit you're going through, and then be like, okay, that happened at this time. Okay, and so maybe based on what I'm doing now, this might happen. That's why I tell people I don't do predictions. I just kind of give a general energy. I can tell you the possible general energy based on the transits, but I even don't like doing that because I don't like putting things in people's heads, whether it's positive or negative. Like I just don't. But I will say that everything is pattern recognition. And me, of course, now studying and learning Vedic astrology, it gets even more specific on the timings. And I will use myself as an example because that's what I'm here to do, is just say my life and what's happened during that time. But during 2017 to 2023, it's a 6-year period in Vedic astrology. It will be, if you go through this, it'll be called a sun dasha, which lasts 6 years, where wherever your natal sun is, those themes can happen during that time. Now, in Vedic, my sun, I believe, is in the 5th house. And so that is, of course, like things like creativity, things like children, all those kind of things can happen. So during that time, I was gaining a lot of, I say, oh, and 5th house is also politics. So during that time of politics, I was online just yapping away about politics. And there were several tweets of mine that just took off, and I gained a lot of viral, sensation. I was a viral sensation, for like the news, and it was not positive stuff, but again, sun is spotlight, it's attention, it's confidence. And so going through that transit, that was because of my own astrological makeup, and that was my own timing of my own life. So it's not something that I manifested and said, I'm going to post at this time and I'm going to be viral. Now, you can work with certain energies. Yes, I do believe that. I do believe that, okay, if I know this, because this is why I say, this is why they keep this stuff from us, because if you know this stuff, then you wouldn't be spending your money on certain things. You wouldn't be, like I said, wasting your time in certain areas on certain people because you're acting out of desperation. And that's what a lot of people are doing, are acting out of desperation. And they know this, and they know what the answers are. They know, and I say they, the ominous they know that this is all on a certain time. It is all based on your specific alignment. And so it is very hard to say, well, if you just do it the way that I did, it'll work like that. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that, because we also understand that even with whatever sun sign you are, again, let's say an Aquarius, all Aquarians are not alike. So we're not living the same life. It is based on our own personal makeup. So if you are somebody who believes in this idea of just, I'm going to manifest my way out of this, understand that you are on a certain timeline. Now, I will also say is that nothing lasts forever, meaning if you are in a situation that's not very favorable right now, it is okay. It'll pass. It's not going to stay there forever. But if you understand what is happening, exactly why it's happening, then it would be a lot easier. And that is something that I have. Like I said, I've been just the realization that I'm like, oh my gosh, this is exactly why I'm dealing with this thing right now. So the Bible says, what does the Bible say? Everything shall pass, or this too shall pass. I'm not a Bible expert, but I do believe that it is a metaphor, a giant metaphor for astrology and numerology, to understand that everything will happen in its due time. And you don't have to worry and stress so much. Yes, it will be rough. Okay. Sometimes some things are rough, but certain things are happening at a certain time, again, based on your makeup. So just understand that. Don't be wasting your time on certain things. Always have optimism, though. Sag moon, Sagittarius, and Pisces, all about optimism. I'm all about remaining at a highest vibration of like, don't be negative, but, and I'm human and I have my emotions, but keep a positive spirit no matter what you're going through. Okay. So again, I'm all about I'm all about vibrating high. I know a lot of my words didn't come out how I wanted them to, but whatever, I'm going to upload this anyways because I feel like some people need to hear this message. As a former, I believe in manifestation person, but really now deep diving into and seeing so many birth charts, and listening to so many life stories, y'all. I just feel like I had to say this because I don't want people to be sold false hope. And or if you just do it like me, then it'll happen for you like that too. No, that's not true. That's not true at all. Now I do believe that the universe can align you with certain people who, if you do learn from them, yes, you can kind of do the same thing, because again, you're being like aligned with them for a reason. But to just think that it will just happen for anyone, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna look at freaking Jeff Bezos and I'm gonna be the next Jeff Bezos, like, let me look at my birth chart, So just understand, I'm not trying to be negative, and if that's your business or whatever, but know that you're on your own timing based on your own chart. Okay. So if you are somebody who wants to understand this in depth, I got you, because like I said, I went back through every single year of my life and did a pattern, like a pattern correlation, to see what was going on and to kind of validate what's being said, y'all. So again, if you'd like a more in-depth analysis, if you want to learn, just learn everything that I have learned, again, I got Mercury retrograde in the third house. And if you know astrology at that level, you know that everything that I read, I retain. And sometimes I don't even remember where I got it from, but I'm like, no, I know it came from somewhere. And so a lot of things are up here. So if you'd like a more in-depth analysis of your birth chart, if you want to know anything about astrology, numerology, just hit me up on any social media platform, visit my website. Let's talk. I'm going to give you the secrets because I want you to live your best life. Okay. I will talk to y'all soon. Thank y'all for listening to my rant, and I will see y'all on the next video. Bye.